channel. Brendo's at the big desk.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome in 2 o'clock on a busy afternoon here as we head through to the Thanksgiving holiday, as the guys are saying there, coming up tomorrow. A number of things still to consider this afternoon, moving around as well. I was just reading a story on Boeing getting this certification for the 737 MAX 10 for flight tests. Once again, there was a little bit of a volume spike for Boeing, back to the upside on that note. It would appear, here's Microsoft, 1.5%. It's been among the winners all day long. They sold it initially out of the gate this morning. We essentially come back to where we ended after the close yesterday. The Sam Altman story comes out. Back to OpenAI he goes to run the ship as CEO. There's going to be an investigation. We'll get into it. There's going to be an investigation into what led to him being ousted and thrown out in the first place from that role. A wild ride today for crude oil. Full trip almost, round trip anyways, now 1.2%. This was 5.2% at one point at the lows. We're all the way back to, yeah, just 1.2% now. 77 coming into play. 74 was the bottom. We started the day up at 78. So crazy, crazy round trip for crude oil today. So yeah, some of the energy stocks down here, not as bad as they once were, that is for sure. XOM was almost 2% at one point today. CVX as well, 1.5% at one point today. It's almost back to positive on the session. So the bounce in oil and the bounce in some of these energy names really helping out as far as the overall market is concerned. You saw in there NVIDIA still offsetting things to the downside here, 1.7 right now for NVIDIA coming off earnings. AMD, the benefactor, 3.5% higher. Meanwhile, AVGO still negative on the day. Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, all positive as they've been for most of the session. There's Amazon, 2.2%, Walmart and Tesla as well, a little bit red on the day to get things going into the afternoon. I thought that was kind of interesting, obviously, on swaggy stocks, NVIDIA and AI, the top two for the third day in a row here. NASDAQ as well, back on top of that list as it's been for most of the week. Yeah, NVIDIA Q3 cheer helping out the market overall. We are looking at a little bit of a resistance level as far as the overall market is concerned around that 4,600 area that we were talking about. 45.75 coming into play. Yeah, that's crude oil. Crazy, absolutely crazy move today. Some of the energy stocks on a nice bounce right now. The market itself kind of hanging out inside the range here that we formed out of the gate. 0.6 right now for the NASDAQ, about 0.4 for the overall market. Let's touch on NVIDIA to get going here this afternoon. If you're with us this morning, we'll do a little recap, as we always do, of what was available for you as far as opportunities were concerned to start things off at the open this morning. If you haven't done so yet, grab the watch list. That's A. B is let's talk about some of the things that were moving on it. NVIDIA was, as I mentioned, top of the list. Microsoft was number 2. I was still watching Microsoft here. Tight range coming in here. We'll touch on that in a second, though. But NVIDIA, guys, gives it all back.
We're long $3 right now. Well, we just were $3 in the money. This has been a very, very frustrating trade because, yeah, I have over 70 fills on this name, including what we did this morning, where we were actually fine and we were up on the stock. Took a $5 winner, then all of a sudden it ripped up and touched us out at 503. Crazy. Like literally, this is a 1-minute chart. So I'd say we were about 20 seconds off of a $20 winner. What are you going to do? I wasn't going to have that much anyways. And then we shorted, which was pretty good there, ahead of 490. We talked about that on the midday. And again, we didn't take the maximum profit again that we could have. Then this is where we kind of got in a little bit of trouble up here once it came back into 490, shorted and got out before eventually breaking 491. Then we went long. So that's a long at 491, breaking higher, out 492.50, came back in, went long again, out, and here we are, a third left of our position, long right now on NVIDIA, watching the 50-period moving average. So here we go again. Just like greed is not good, and I'm way too greedy on this stock. We could have been in and out of this name numerous times and well up on it. So, but unfortunately, we just continue to wait for something bigger to happen. Like staring a $3 winner in the face, it's probably not. I mean, it's a good move. It's making the moves back up. It's like, will we get to 500? That's kind of what I want to see. Earlier on, when we were at 502 threes, I was saying we're probably going to get down to 480. It went to 478 or whatever that was. I don't know. I mean, that's a pretty clear bottom. Unfortunately, I was so fed up with it that I was not looking there. So beautiful bottom there for NVIDIA down at 478. Congratulations, anybody that has that. But we're at the highest spot right now, and it's going to be a good one, I feel like, into the afternoon. Let's see if NVIDIA can hold the bid right now north of 490.
Well, this will be hard to see because I have a few wicks on the chart, but you should be able to get the idea. For NVIDIA today, I have traded one area on the way back up into 490. Get to that in a second, but this was that 470 area. A VWAP as well by the call that was on the after show, and 470 was a key level on the daily already. Now, it didn't quite get down there. Would have been a pretty darn good long if you took it out in front of it. I didn't have a reason to look at 475. It just felt like it was heavy enough to get to 470. Heavy, I just mean like it was falling hard enough that you kind of think it's going to get to the level. I wanted to fade back into 490. I'm going to get to a theory on ARM, by the way, but as to why ARM could be going up. I don't think it's a theory. I think it's obvious. But I shorted 490. The first time was good. The second time, probably okay. The third time, didn't need to do it. A third time at a level, you don't need to take it. I usually don't do that. So the theory about ARM is, a lot of what's going on is everybody uses ARM. I want to get to that stock because obviously it was a rocket ship today. Everybody uses ARM. NVIDIA announcing, of course, that their new GPUs are going to be infused with ARM chips, which are more energy efficient, all that good stuff. Throw in the fact that, and I did not consider this on ARM. I've only been long today, but I didn't consider this fact. They just finally had a report in which the forward PE became very reasonable. I think 33 for ARM, after being 100 in the prospectus. So any money that was waiting for a report, for earnings to come through, to get money in, just a little confirmation that was playing the patience game, well, there was a dip into 50, and they probably gobbled the crap that up after earnings, the crap out of that, and then has been on a bit of a breakout. Then today, you get a pullback in earnings where maybe some profits being taken on NVIDIA, and it wants to go somewhere else. Lo and behold, you get this. It's not even a squeeze because I don't know the short float, and I doubt it's that big by now on ARM. So I didn't have, what's the word? I like stick-to-itiveness is one way to say it. But the other one is, today is a day for me that I adhered to my stops. I'll tell you right now, if I had just been like, screw it, I'm just holding this long, and it goes with that. It goes with a few other things here we'll get to, but this could have been like the one. Instead, I end up getting out on the second time we take it. I take a breakout and get out of it. I've been scalping it since on that pullback. Never shorted off 65, but ARM was one of 2 or 3 names I absolutely loved off the open for a long trade. Didn't get the exact price that I wanted out of it right away because I thought we'd be at least retesting back into 58. It's weird when you see like NVIDIA coming down like that. Your first instinct is, okay, you're going to get a chance if you want to dip buy anything related or adjacent to it. That just didn't materialize. You had to have the break. It rejected 65, and that's not a random number. We talked about this. If you were trading ARM on the first day on the IPO, there's a value sometimes to trading an IPO because that first day you get to see levels and then it's like ingrained in your mind. Well, on the first day it got up to 66, but 65 was a very, very significant level in terms of liquidity, in terms of some sellers down there. So respecting that, it just ticked to 64.92 up top. I think if we sniff 65 again, it's a bit of a fluke. If it were to get to that price, I think you just fade it again. I'm not sure it gets there. As a matter of fact, I just took more shares out on the north side of 63. If this gets to 64 for a lower high, I would be perfectly happy with that.
All right, let's talk some Sam Altman here, OpenAI anyway. Back at the helm, again, if you missed it, he's agreed to an investigation into what led to him being ousted in the first place. A lot of people talking about a lot of different things I was reading at lunch, actually. One of those being essentially what we've been saying over the past couple of days, that he wanted to focus on the monetary side of things. OpenAI itself was set up as a nonprofit initially, so I think they're concerned at least about getting away from that side of the business, but let's be honest, that's not really why they're all there. Microsoft, anyways, out of the gate was a bit of a sell today, but right back to where we started now.
Yeah, still flirting with those all-time highs, Brendo. But it was an interesting development now. The saga is over, at least we think it is. A couple of changes at the helm there with respect to the board. Altman was insisting that there had to have been a change in corporate governance for him to return, and he got that. He got former Salesforce co-CEO Brett Taylor and the former Treasury Secretary himself, Larry Summers, going to be on that board, Brendo, and Adam D'Angelo of Quora gonna hold on to his spot there. So let's see how we do the next few weeks.
Yeah, it was. We were saying this morning. It's like, what happens to this poor guy from Twitch that used to run Twitch? He gets a phone call last night. He's like,
"We don't need you.
Sorry,
Yeah,
you're done." I was reading at lunchtime as well. A lot of analysts suggesting that even though this seems to be resolved at this point, a lot of businesses that have already signed up to ChatGPT to use the services, some of the plugins may be reconsidering at this point.
Really?
But let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, let's see how it plays out. Like we said this morning, Microsoft got essentially what they wanted, right? Like what they wanted was probably to be consulted on the whole thing, but obviously they liked Sam Altman in the direction they were going, hence the partnership, and now it's seemingly going to end up in their favor. Microsoft hasn't been the most obvious trade outside of the bounce at 75. I'll be the first to admit, like you would have seen in the morning show, when this bounced off 375, I was looking for a long entry there. I could have taken the breakout and chased it up. And again, I would have extended past the R&R that I was looking for, but it would have worked. That's the weird thing. If I take this break instead of looking for that, yes, I'm giving up 150. That's not great. That's not great risk to reward because I'm looking for a VWAP push in there. But again, it would have worked out. I think that's a good level. And then do not ignore where this fell apart at the open. Like the first half an hour, check that. 379.25. You got a wick above that, but that was essentially resistance. You cannot get past that all afternoon. So unless this is breaking out that level, this is what the futures are doing. 16.1. You heard Sharif say this, I don't know, probably 15 times in the midday show. We're having a problem with 16.1 in the NASDAQ. Well, it's a holiday shortened week, and we're not breaking 16.1 in the NASDAQ. So you want to look for some signs of weakness. Short off levels like that. If I see this creeping up to 379 again, I do want to get involved in that one off of the top. And just because it's happening right now, so I got out of some SoFi as it was failing the break of 7 even. I do still want to be long this stock, but if it gets all the way down to VWAP, I don't think I should be holding the whole thing. I think I'm going to trail this out to 695. I'm thinking the same way about ARM. If we start to really roll over, time to give up the ghost on a few of these. Softy, 379.25 is a real weird level, but it is the high right now to work off of for 16.1.
I need to get some better strategies. We're going to be red on NVIDIA. I mean, I need this to get, hopefully we're not going to be. We're going to be up on everything. We're just working on this right now. Palantir's been a monster. NVIDIA, Intel's been a monster. Oh yeah, check this out on Intel. I tweeted it out. This is the thing, like, you're going to have these plays. We're still up on Intel. We held that last 10%, but look at that. Like, that's happened. So, like, that happened to me on Intel here at a random time of day, 11:32, basically the exact same look as this. So it's like, whatever. That's back-to-back days here now. Good thing tomorrow is a vacay. And then right now, we also have upside there, 494. I'm having my best day of the month, by the way. 494 right there, looking at possibly something. I don't know. I still think NVIDIA could might try to close above 5 bills. So let's wait to see on that one. I mean, went down $20 off the open when I was only expecting like 10. Okay, that's NVIDIA. Sorry, I want to look at Microsoft. We're talking about Microsoft. So this is probably a good level, 477, too much NVIDIA, 377 right in there, but you got to get there first, and you got to break through VWAP, you got to break through the 50-period moving average. Microsoft's already up. Okay, here we go. NVIDIA's trying to go through 494 again right now. Hey, guys, it's a $3 winner right now, so my attention probably this afternoon, I'll focus it a little bit on Apple, maybe not that much, but it's definitely going to be Very, very NVIDIA based, as here we go, right back up to the high again. Well, I'm still not taking this. I don't have any offers. I think NVIDIA can moon. So let's see what we can do right here. Let's make today special.
Great show.
All right, Palantir, right back to the middle of the range as well. We are chopping around here a little bit, but a bit of a fade out of the gate this morning. After this, I mean, yeah, it was yet another government contract coming from the National Health Services over in the UK. Could be eventually worth up to $330 million for them.
Yeah, 32 million US dollars offhand to start. It's a good look. We'll have to wait and see how they do. It's another government contract, though, for Palantir. We were talking earlier about, you know, how they were starting to acquire more commercial contracts. Earlier in the year, it was about a 70-30 split between government and commercial. Looks like there's another government contract here. RBC coming in and making a comment with respect to Palantir, reiterating the underperform and maintaining its $5 price target today.
It was, if you remember, the initial move in the overall market higher, so it was really weak right out of the gate for PLTR, even with the gap today.
I don't know, you know what's interesting? Like I've said this before, like it would be fun. Whenever I hear like certain price targets, I'm just a little tiny bit curious as to where the number comes from at times. Like I've heard and read some things where analysts will actually say, this is how I am coming up with this number. They'll give you actual metrics and blah, 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 and sales, and there's a whole mess to deal with. I'm not sure how you come up with the 5 for Palantir, but we're here to trade anyway. That's just me being a little bit quirky. Palantir did turn red today, although very, very slightly so. So it is relatively weak. There's no question about it. I was looking only for longs. I had a couple of structured longs. One of them was off of the 1970. That's this level. The other was it breaking out off pre-market tops that I was going to give to 20. So the breakout trade I thought was going here to 50 to 21. Didn't happen, so we take the L. Then the next trade came in, which was 1970. That was the good one that came back into the 20 level, was able to get a point there, and then got out when it broke the low. It then came a little bit too far down and missed out on that snap right off of the bottom. That's the third level in. Didn't quite catch that third level. Would have worked if you hold on to it, but the negative Nancy for Palantir would be, I wanted this stock closing this week above 20 bucks. I kind of felt that, okay, you can pull back yesterday, you could pull back today, but if you manage to close out and above that $20 level, it's going to look a little bit more bullish on the higher time frame. So at least for now, you're still contending with that even dollar level on Palantir. I think it's obviously bullish. Like you can look at this on the daily chart. It's got great support in the teens. You have the 50 period as well down here at 17, which I think should provide some support, 17 to 18 as you can see. But the breakout, it might have to wait past this $20 level until, I don't know, but maybe next week. Certainly plenty of time for it to go. I don't think you're going to see $5 on this stock.
We've only traded 4 names today. Come over here. Intel positive, Apple positive, NVIDIA not, Palantir positive. 1950 area zone right now. So let's go. And Apple. Oh, we have Apple, NVIDIA. Oh, there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I missed Apple. Right there. Okay. So right there, 1950, right? So area of interest. So there it is. You know, took a very, very small piece there, got this average in. We took 75 cents or so, or sorry, 25 cents off 75 right there, back to the upside. It fell down, just started averaging in. Really got lucky. I mean, again, like I always consider when levels hold that I'm kind of getting lucky when they hold, but I don't know. You know, is it lucky or, you know, there it is. So there's the move back up again. And then we take our base. We still have a small piece, but our last piece back here at the 200, more pieces at VWAP. So Palantir is my #1 stock. If it goes down to $5, great. I'm buying more. I'm not selling this name for forever, honestly. So we'll see what happens here. We really like Palantir. I'm just looking here at, we're basically, like I said, we're very much in chill mode. But then look. Like once again, there it is, 494.50. Like 350 in the money again on this. $4 in the money, sorry, on that move when we got up to that top spot again. Yeah, it's fine, but like, you know, where do we get out when we fail? I'm thinking honestly, it's got to come out at some point, and if it does, yeah, I know, Renata. I mean, honestly, look, it's a good problem to have. You know, like looking around, like I'm $4 in the money, like that's good. But at the same time, it's like, I hate having the stress of where to get out. So let's just make it very robotic like we do everything that we do here. That's why I trade like this, is to show you guys that you can make money. Trading, this is a very, very hard situation. Even all the traders behind us, percentage points make it. That's it, right? It's not an easy game, and we've talked about that. I know they talk about that on the midday show as well. But all right, let's just be as robotic as we can be. 492.50. That's the 50 period. Look at it, make this move straight through the 50 period. If we were like that though, we wouldn't have these outs. So that's the sucky part. Like, why am I taking 75 cents and then $2? Well, I know why, but they're good trades. It's just a matter of like, not being able to hold enough. So all right, 492.50, new out for this trade.
All right, let's go to Autodesk, another one that was on tap this morning off earnings, 5.5%. We really have done not a heck of a lot. The initial move higher, they come out with their forecast. We get the huge move to the downside, the gap this morning. It was an initial test lower, but inside of everything ever since.
Yeah, Breno, they beat on the top and bottom line. It was really the guide here that got them in a little bit of trouble. They guided for the next fourth quarter, $1.422 billion to $1.437. The street wanting 1.43. They didn't like that range of 1.422, so it sold off. Lots of commentary here from rating agencies. Oppenheimer maintaining outperform. I know Morgan Stanley was chiming in on that as well. So was Piper Sandler. Lots of different price target upgrades.
Yeah, not a name we typically look at, but it was such an initial move coming off the forecast that worth a thought anyways this morning.
Yeah, I mean, you've probably heard us say, like, for earnings, you generally speaking want a stock to, either it's a stock that you're normally trading, or it's a stock that's giving you an opportunity, like outside of a range, breaking out, or trading around a monster level, just some kind of an extra good setup or something, which Autodesk was literally in the middle of the good levels on the daily. Although this morning I was like, maybe it bounces off $200, but I said that 200's a round number. I'm not trading it off of those levels. That was your only shot. You could have traded it off the $200 level. If you liked it, great. If you want to trade it this afternoon, don't, would be that's what I would say. Like the volume, so look, it's a holiday shortened week, right? Like you're going into, what's not likely to be a terribly gigantic afternoon in terms of volume. I suppose if it were to flat bottom break 205, there could be something there. If it could break out 206, there could be something there. But this has not moved outside of this range since 1242. 1242 till now 223 or 224, you just turned. This has been in the same tiny range when it's got a range of $8 on the day. So it's, either if you're interested in this one, if you've been holding it, like you can see the levels that need to break for it to get going. On earnings days, you really want to pick and choose. This one was a bit of an easier pass. I don't think it was that difficult for anyone to see that there's going to be better opportunities out there. And if you happen to grab this one, kudos to you off the open.
Oh, man. Yeah, we had Autodesk yesterday on the close. We talked a little bit about that. Okay, so this NVIDIA is going to come out, man, for sure, because here it goes. It's going to break lower. That sucks. So we'll give up that $1.50. I mean, we were ho-humming it at $4.94. You could wait for it to go back upside. I'm going to try to shout out to Ozan and everybody there in the chat. If you really don't stick to your rules, like you don't have $4, $5, $6 winners anyways, right? And so you got to be able to get out when you need to and get in when you need to. So we're going to get out here at 492.50 if it breaks lower on NVIDIA. And no, I did not trade any ADSK, nor did I look at it. So, what we could do? We could just look at Tesla because why not? This name was getting killed today, down about 3. What is it down now? Still 3. We got some bad wicks showing up here on Tesla, but all right, let me just pull down another chart for you to see what Tesla's been doing here. We'll pull down a 3-minute chart here from eSignal. Okay, so right into here right now. Can I even pull it? My hand's too jittery. There it is. No, it's this mouse, man. It's on like a different setting. All right, there it is. So Tesla, look at that. Right up there to VWAP again at 235. So we talk about some of these plays, man, and it's like, there it is. There's the gap up to VWAP. So should have been shorted right there, 235. missed opportunity. And if you are short 235, a lot of the time if you get VWAP back down to the 50 period, that's a good cover. So this could be good. So if you do have something like this, maybe you're short 234.50 down to 233 and change. Again, if I was in this, I wouldn't know what to do. But if you guys are in this, I can definitely suggest probably taking something out at the 50 period. But nice move down there for Tesla. Could be a long. I don't know. The market's underneath. I don't want to take any longs right now. That's why I'm iffy about this NVIDIA. The market is below the 50 period moving average and just doing this. If I want to get long, it's going to have to be closer to some support levels. Right now, you're not supporting anything. So 16.1 failed. There comes NVIDIA, so we'll take NVIDIA. Hey, look, it's not a fail by any stretch of the imagination, but it does come back in, and there it is right there, the out. So there's in, and it looks like my best out was right there at 493. So there's a 492.50. So again, congratulations, anybody.
What was that?
Oh, it was the top of this pen. Congratulations to anybody that had that trade. It's definitely a moneymaker, and such as
Is that the NASDAQ pen?
No, this is a pen. It looks Songbird on it.
Oh.
I stole this from. Oh, you don't have to worry. It's just. Thank you, Ramin. Ramin, how tall are you? I said 5'2", 5'2".
Everyone's guess. I didn't put a guess in. Whatever. 5'1" seems possible. I haven't checked which kind of shoes she wears, but I don't know why that's such a big deal. Everyone was asking, where did that come from on the midday
Everyone
show?
always wants to know. I don't know. Someone, I think it was Deez was talking about it.
Oh, okay. It seemed a little random to me that everyone all of a sudden was asking about like what's Ramin's height. Let's get up to the desk and move on.
5'7".
Ramin lied on her license, Brendo.
Anyway, some retail earnings to wrap things up here. JWN was on one. She's not 5'7". No chance. Downside initially here for Nordstrom's, but we did bounce off $14 there a couple of times on. I mean, the report itself very similar to what we've heard from, let's be honest, the entire group.
Yeah, exactly. Retail has been in focus a lot as the consumer gets more squeezed. They beat they missed on the top line. They beat on the bottom line. They were able to shore up some cost. But let's talk about how they did with respect to the different departments. Net sales, overall sales for all their stores down 9.4% year over year on the quarter. With respect to Nordstrom Rack, which is their discount store, 1.8% down year over year on the quarter. Digital ad sales didn't do that well either, 11.5% down year over year. The good thing is, though, they were able to get rid of the glut of inventory that they had a problem with last year. Inventory about down 9% here, Brendo.
I wonder if they took it with them from Toronto.
They did. They took a $2.1 billion charge for leaving Canada. That's how much it cost them.
And now that thing's just sitting there with, I saw the other day, it was like Christmas lights everywhere. But anyways, thoughts on JWN?
Well, I mean, it's not going well for Nordstrom's. There's that much. It's a 22% short float, but I was ready for a potential squeeze if it wanted to break out. It just didn't break out, so no breakout, no trade. I was looking for the patented earnings season. Retailer gets pumped to the downside and then reverses and breaks out the top. This is it, not breaking out the top this morning or anywhere remotely close to it. It's not a good-looking chart. It feels like it's headed right back down. After that, it looks like it's heading right back down to the lows. But with that 22% short float, you never really know. It's just day one. Like maybe this consolidates here, and next week it breaks back out, and you get some kind of a squeeze. This is very, very different from what we saw. And look, it's not that Nordstrom's and Gap and Nordstrom's aren't the same thing. Nordstrom, Macy's, they're all different companies, but it's just very different from the squeeze that we saw in GPS, right? Like the reason I was hopeful for a breakout was just simply how ridiculous the breakout was in GPS the last couple of days. You can't recreate that magic if no one wants to buy it. Like a squeeze is usually you joining exuberant buying and short covering. You can't make that, you can't make the move happen, and it didn't happen for Nordstrom's.
Like I said, I just don't need everybody guessing. I'm 6 feet clean, so that's what that is. You guys, I don't care whatever game you want to play. All right, so the thing about this here is I think that for Nordstrom's, I really like this 14 area. You know, I feel like, look, trading earnings is tough, man. I mean, I have not 100. I have 75 fills on NVIDIA. So just because I'm like an action junkie, right? $14 right there as a bottom for JWN. I feel like there's the whoosh down there off the open. And then we say, get that garbage out of here. Down here in between 1380 and 14, that's garbagey. So then I would say a drop down into $14 right there would be decent, but you got to make sure that you have the right amount of shares because you could fall back into these lows of the day. So you know, again, not too much volume. Well, it's done 12 million, but just the way it's moving right now, I don't, you know, I think you missed potentially, maybe missed that trade there off 14 bucks. So if it does come back in, great. If not, what are you supposed to do? So I just want to say that, hey, look, this is why, and I want to say thank you to everybody because I know that everybody out there that's going to, and you're going to see eventually why, you know, I'm hashtagging real trading and stuff like that. But this is why you want to make sure that you stick with your rules. Because, like, look at that out there on the 50. So not only that, like, you guys want to talk about education and everything like that. Like, if you're following me, and I think, you know, again, do it as you wish. A lot of you probably don't have Twitter accounts. But here's me explaining my out. 490, 250. We'll take the $2 if it breaks the 50-period MA. Like, that's exactly what we did there. So whether or not you went short, whether or not you were riding with me here or whatever, there's the call, and there's the out. So like just by getting out right there, I've saved myself $2. So we make $2, save $2. And now if you want to get, I do not want to get, told you I'm not going long. But if you want to get long again, you can. We could get long at the same price. It's called rinsing and repeating. And that's the whole point of what we're trying to do. So, all right, let's go back over. Are we back to the desk here, Brendo, or? Sure, he says. All right.
To tell you that the rundown, as always, is brought to you by our friends over at Trade Ideas. If you haven't done so, take advantage. 25% off, still available for you guys. Use that QR code, bottom right corner right now. You can go use the promo code tradertv.live. Get you all the great data, charting, on any stock you want to. Great search capabilities for their web app version. You can type in anything you want to see and pull it up almost instantly, except for right now, obviously, when I'm trying to do it and need to refresh first. But trust me, Michael Noss will help you out. Go check out Trade Ideas, guys.
Sure, and look, we all use it. It's a fantastic platform. Like if you're, today, my scanner, it hasn't exactly been popping off. I have like a high of the day Momo scanner. That's just what it's called. I didn't name it, but it's not really popping off with a lot of names. But sometimes when I see things, you know, high of the day, breaking out on volume, small caps a lot of times, but it's not only small caps. I have one that pullbacks into VWAP or into previous support or resistance levels. That can be a good one to come into. I just got out of ARM. I put in the chat, someone's like, is ARM going to tank? I don't know if ARM is going to tank, but this has been the support level since it dipped off 65 even. So I bought the dip several times, and now it just got under that support. You can say it's bouncing off of VWAP, but it never was really getting to VWAP, right? Like it's like the buyers have been at 62.5. Like it's not getting to VWAP is like at 62.20. This has been bouncing in front of it, so I'm not waiting for VWAP. I do think if it's breaking down, I would look for a short here underneath. Like I want to see it bust under VWAP and maybe consolidate down there. We have some time. Like we got an hour and a half to go, so things can set up in the other direction. No question about it. I did already take some out of SoFi there. Holding on to the last, I only got in a couple of times here at about 680 when this was a VWAP trade where it busted the low of the day. The second it got above VWAP, I was long into the low of the day as a stop, and then started getting out. When it bounced here, I'm like I should have reloaded and I should have been taking profit at the high of the day the first time, so I did it the second time. But now you're giving up 7. This could bounce off VWAP, and I do want to favor that. The reason I prefer this to re-enter along if it shows me strength at 686, 687, is that's the morning high. So the morning high could turn into support. And I like those morning breakout levels where it holds a level in the morning, breaks it out at lunchtime. if it falls back into it later in the day, I look for dip buys at those types of prices. There's one more thing I wanted to get to here. I'm going to go to, we got to talk about crypto first, and then I'm going to segue to Coinbase, which is my most frustrating stock of the day. I was only long Coinbase today. Anyways, we'll get to that in a second. Big breakout in BTC. Strong mover. It was very clean off of 13.68. Carried almost all the way to 13.75. Has been stepping up. Just recently pulled back. That leads me to, if you were watching the morning show, we were talking about the relative strength of Coinbase and yada, yada, yada. Coinbase was strong. It held 03s. It broke out the top. I was all over the breakout. We talk about greed being good. Greed's not always good. Trust me when I tell you, it's not always a good thing. Because I was in this break, tight stopped out, added to it, broke. Then I had this long. The better it looked, the more I got. And I had an opportunity to scalp a bunch out because I was long at 107.90 to 108. And I basically just stared it in the face when it went like 70, 80 cents on Coinbase. And I'm not saying that was the wrong decision. It's just that it was off-brand, if that makes sense. Right? Like I don't usually take a breakout like this at that time of the day if I'm not intending on scalping out a bunch of it to grab that profit. Because if you do that, then as it comes back in, I'm not getting that stop out just before it goes. I was only wanting the long Coinbase in here and still managed to not get it when it went. I'm not looking for the long back in on this, by the way. Just a little bit too much of a pullback, which is accelerating now. Wow, both my things just trailed out. The only thing left is SoFi. What the hell just happened? Okay. Marvell I just got trailed out of Marvell. I got out and it dropped 20 more cents instantly. NVIDIA just dropped to 88. What the heck is going on? You just saw SoFi is now dropping right into VWAP. I'm not going to pick up this bid. The ES just turned here. Yeah. Sorry, the NASDAQ, the market just turned here. It doesn't matter, ES and NASDAQ. But they just turned here almost down to 16,000. Yeah, I'm not going to be just jumping on any kind of a bid. But SoFi was the one I was interested in. So let me just stick with that. Like I said just now, like the plan was SoFi, if it can hold VWAP, because that was a breakout price. So if I'm going to try and catch a bid, it should probably only be that. That was a little wild. That was a wicked drop. That's why you have stop orders, man. Yeah, like I had 3 longs. I showed you, like, I'm getting out this one here, that one here. It's like get out, and wow.
Yeah. That's.
I didn't see 100. Wow. Okay, that was fast.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about. Remember, I was like, I'm not going long. So unfortunately, though, Apple fell in to the price, and it just came into the day's low, and we got out immediately. Now we're just going to try it a little bit right now, but like Neil mentioned, we already have a stop just a little bit lower than this. We're long Apple right now at 15s. So we'll turn a green name into a red name here. There it goes. As it comes back in to that downside, there's obviously some news that's but we don't have it yet. So there it goes right back into 16,000. So here we go again, guys. I thought we'd get square on the 20-minute chart. Actually, I got to save this. I realized we didn't have some of the lines on there. Just fell right into the 50 period. I liked square today, but here comes the story. What's up?
Just to confirm, I mean, I'm seeing some NATO-related headlines when it comes to Sweden's entry, but nothing market or specifically market-related at this point, guys, but I'll keep an eye out.
All right.
Okay. I mean, like maybe it's possible, just spitballing here. Like you were, I did take SoFi, but I feel like I'm going to have a pretty tight stop on this. I think I should only give it to 84. Yeah, it just feels like the right thing to do. Like you were barcoding off 16.1. Sometimes that happens, and the flood. It's like we're extending further here, but like sometimes this happens. You break down. It's technical. There's not a lot of bid going into a holiday weekend. There's just not a lot of buyers sitting on the bid,
that could be
waiting to pick that up. Again, I'm just speculating that that's what it is. But we're already at 16, almost at 16,000, which would be the bounce zone. Like you wait all afternoon, and then that sort of
16.1 or whatever, 16.10.
Yeah, you wait all afternoon, and like that move was so fast. If you got a short off of that kind of a move, all I can say is congratulations to you, because that was absolutely wild. I wanted to check, like Meta was doing absolutely nothing. I knew this was a potential breakdown. I'm willing to bet you that Autodesk, which is like, that's not a trade. Nobody traded. You don't want to trade Autodesk. Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously that's going to look stupid, but if you actually traded that break free $1.50, but the market did something we weren't expecting. So
Yeah, that was a weird one. You don't have to trade Autodesk. You could just trade with me right now. That's another 80 cents in the money right here on NVIDIA. We just bought 487s. But I'm going to try to see if we can get an extended move higher now off of that. If Brendan's not seeing anything, I just find it really hard to believe that that's a NATO-related thing, but it could be. So
that seems unlikely.
If that is the case right there, but you could see we just failed. So yeah, you know, without really any of that news, is it really that smart to be holding on to this? We just went all the way back to VWAP again at 488 and we didn't get it out. So here it comes right back in again. So I have my earpiece in. If I hear something as well, I'll try to bring that to you as soon as possible. But for right now, the market's just trying to figure itself out, man. And it's not even that dramatic. I mean, it's a big move, but it just puts us right back into day's low again.
It's like relative to.
So, you know, we're just going to wait to see what's happening here. Hopefully things settle down. I mean, the NASDAQ is trying to get going again. And there it is again. You know what? Stick right here. There's another dollar for you right there on NVIDIA. Another dollar. Try $1.30 right now. Look at us get out of the way of this move and then wait to buy the dip. Like, if this is not, you know, wow, let's go.
Awesome.
All right. That was the move right there. We got it. We're now $1.55 in the money, and there we go, right back up to the upside one more time. So there it is. There's $2. Forget about ADSK. Here's $2 right now on NVIDIA on the move back. Be patient. Wait for it. And there it is right now. Let's spin it, guys. Decent trade there with NVIDIA. There's another $2 winner.
So anyone that's saying, we understand what happened at the border. We're not really showing pictures or anything like that, but I doubt that like that was older news. It would be pretty unlikely that got digested that slowly to have caused the market to fall. That's probably the only thing I would say about it. But they did close. We understand they've closed some of the bridges, to be sure. So make sure you got your risk to reward on when you're buying dips. That's why I'm only in one thing. It was a pre-planned trade off of VWAP, and I'm in at 86, and I'm giving it 3 cents. And the second it goes 4 in the money, I'm going to get the bounce on that play. So just want to make sure, set up that risk to reward. If you're buying a dip in the middle of, in the middle of a move like that, just make sure you have a level that you're wrong. Like, where is it that I am going to be wrong, and then you can get out, right? Because that's what's going to determine whether or not you're, positive, negative, all that good stuff, or consistent. Is you've got to know where you're wrong. Because if we just kept dropping there through 16 and there was something going on, then you've essentially bought in the middle of the ether, and you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. So it's just a little bit of a shake out to the downside. If you don't see a reason, then just stick to your pre-planned trades, all that good stuff. I just saw ARM was able to hold 62, so I got out when it broke support. And now if it wants to hold that 62 level and get back above VWAP, that can be a separate trade for me. I much prefer there to be a separate trade than just sort of getting in, all that good stuff where you sort of average into it. Not really my style. To each their own. If we get back above VWAP, I now have a lower high to work off. I have a lower low to work off of that 62 level, which was a breakout at 11 o'clock. I like dip buys into breakout levels when they show support. 62 was already that in the first place. So if it gets any kind of juice, the second we're back above VWAP, looking for like a 20 long, with essentially 25 cents worth of risk. So that can climb back above, then I would go for it. But I need to see strength first. If it just cracks lower, I don't have to enter the trade. Right? You do not have to trade a flash news event like that. If it wants to flush, just let that sucker flush. Getting back on over to something like an Apple, the difference with Apple is it was showing signs of weakness before that happened. And anything that was looking weak before we had that flush is something that I would prefer to be shorting. So relative weakness there. If you look at the opening range, breakout from 191.40, 191.40, 191.40, you can see where I'm getting at. Like that would be the level I would look to enter, giving it to this high at about 70. That'd be about 30 points worth of risk. I think that's pretty reasonable. If that pop gets back up to that level, I want to engage a short. I know exactly where I'm going to be wrong. Jameson Barma, there's been a lot of talk about what's going on particularly in natural gas. Sharif has been talking about it pretty much all day. So oil has been on the move. Strong day, up 4% here. I don't really trade. I don't trade this commodity. I'll give you that. But we can call up and show you. It is a small bounce in what has been a precipitous trend in the other direction over here, and it is breaking. I mean, it's going up, but I mean, if you look at it, it's a very small move into a bigger overall trend into the downside. It is breaking out the top here. All I will do is call it up and kind of show you my perspective and my understanding for someone who doesn't really trade commodities is when you look at the longer term, and I've seen these patterns before, it takes a lot to break trend in the commodity space. So it's in a downward trend. Picking bottoms is a hard thing to do in something like natural gas. But good luck to you. It's a mover. That's for sure. I've heard people in this chat call natural gas the Widowmaker. Mm-hmm. More than once I've heard
its nickname.
I've heard people in the chat call it the Widowmaker. You know, unless you have a really good edge on the Widowmaker, good movie. Unless you have a really good edge on the Widowmaker, then I think you stay away from it. But there's obviously opportunity to be had if and when that catches the bottom. I traded Tellurian, which is a natural gas stock, but trust me, that was a gimmicky trade. I said this before. I traded Tellurian on a $1 play, took the money and ran, and then held like 10%. And the second that broke 90 cents, I got out of that last 10%. That was because it was a stock, holding $1. And if I don't, just to give you an idea, here's an example of what happens if you bag hold something where you had a plan of action. Come on, daily chart. If it doesn't load, I'll get my trade ideas up. Okay, yeah, it's gonna work. So right in here, Tell broke $1. It's hard to see. Like this was back in March. It breaks $1 here. It holds 90 cents. I went long as it broke back above. Now, I did break a rule of my own, which I didn't take profit when it got to 170. Thankfully, it held $1. I got out right about here at 150 and said, thank you very much, held on at 10%. And since it broke $1, has there been anything in sight? Look at the dollar break. This should have been a short. It broke $1 and then step down. It's at 49 cents. So you never want to turn a trade into an investment. I'm not telling you Tell's an investmentable stock or not. You guys do whatever you want to do. But that actually should have been all kinds of a short at $1 the more I look at it. But you got to be able to get out of those things. So that's my only foray into anything related to natural gas.
All right. So Square just came back to, I took an 82 there, basically just came back to flat. I still have all of it though, so it's not, well, not all of it, I shouldn't say that, unless I do have it all, which I do not. So right now, let's wait to see what happens here with Square. We have a piece of this, we still have 90%, so I did take out 20% there of this name, so let's just see where it goes from here. Square making that move back, hopefully back up to the upside, but we're getting very, very close to getting stopped out. Like if that broke, I thought my out was like a break of 70. So we came very, very close to that being our out exactly. And look what just happened right there. Look, there's NVIDIA, up, down. What? Okay, so I think we just got into that piece and we got stopped out immediately. Oh, we need to be back in this name against, I was trying to go against that 485 break. Oh no. So something must have just happened there where the stop triggered the minute I got filled. Oh well. We were trying to go long through a 485 break, but obviously that doesn't break there. So mistake ridden right there on this name. But we'll wait to see what happens now for this. Oh, that sucks. That's too bad. So we just got stopped out there, but we bought it back immediately once we realized it. It's too bad because we're supposed to have the long right there. But there it goes right back in. Now it goes. Like unbelievable, honestly, Sean. But there it goes. Nicely done back up to the upside right here. Like I said, way too many transactions. I'm not even sure what this wants to do. So like as far as like, making a dollar, walking away from $2, taking the long again. See, like right there, there's 485, right? And so we're waiting to see if that can break. That top right there, yeah, so that's 485.30. That's where we tried to get long. But once we get long, it breaks and goes higher. So, okay, let's wait to see what happens. More bids down there near 486. And then if we drop, so these are not like maximum positions. I told you, this is very, like this is a nice move down. Like by the fact that we got out there, that could have been a short, breaking through the 50-period moving average. I don't mind trying this long. It didn't give it to us because the market just came in so aggressively there. So that's why I feel like this 488 area really needs to be tested, and it's doing it right now. So let's see. Oh, that sucks, man. Now we're in the money $1 again on this name. Oh, these stops are killing me. But nice move to the upside here for NVIDIA. Right back upside. So let's see where it goes now. we'll probably have another $2 in the money that we won't take. So let's see what happens here for NVIDIA. Hopefully it can climb. And I think we could get back to the 50 period again. Let's put an offer at 491.
Yeah, I mean, so the just for everybody, Brendan just puts. I don't know if this means anything, but Brendan just put in. They're saying there wasn't an explosive found in that vehicle. Was not.
Oh, that's good.
Which obviously, like if you see the pictures, that's not good. Like what happened isn't good, but it's definitely good that it might not be anything, you know, along those bad, worse lines. So I just saw in the chat, MRAI is moving. This stock, I would say, like for me. This just broke VWAP. I know Sharif was talking. I think Sharif was trading this one in the midday show. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, so 250 was the key price level, and it broke it down. I know it's bouncing, and 20 cents on $2 stock is pretty good, but like this, it get pulled back $1.15 off the highs to get to here underneath VWAP and stair-stepping down. I'd be pretty hesitant to hope for a runner on this at that price level. I guess you have 2 as support. The other thing too is if you're swinging a small cap, like you're holding it through the holiday, a half day on low liquidity on Friday, and it can happen then through a weekend. There's a lot to sort of navigate through. Yeah, to me that's like a stay away event. I'm actually thinking, okay, so ARM is holding now that 62 level, so you're starting to see some actual buying come back into this. I want to look to grab this through that quarter mark and then just have my even dollar stop. So if this can get back through the quarter, I want to take my shot at it. There's your wipeout bottom. I want to try and join it if it can break out through the quarter with my stop. And I was able to get a 90 fill on SoFi, and I'll be back in here trying to grab the VWAP fills. As that has been bouncing, still showing strength. We mentioned a couple of minutes ago, okay, Apple didn't really push up into that level. So Apple pulled back off 191.20. I was looking for 191.40. Clearly, you can see it did not get there. As it presses higher, I still like the notion of shorting it because it was looking weak going into that flush. So if it comes back to the upside, well, I won't have an order out there. I'm just going to look for it to push up, and I still would like the short on Apple into that 191.70.
Hey guys, yeah, finally a day upside for Fisker. Look, I mean, Fisker drops down into 180. This is a pretty good level right here. And like I said, once you get through all that garbage right there, that would have been a long 185, something like that, straight to the upside. I mean, it's because, you know, you look at a day when this kind of stuff happens, you know, so, not often this is what's going to happen. So you get flush down there on good volume. I didn't trade this today, but there's the break of $2. There's the bid at 185. So I feel like, again, another missed opportunity. Fisker should have been there. I'm way too obsessed with looking at NVIDIA. Like, I still have it up, but I can't stop looking at it now, $1.50 in the money as we continue to go. I'm, you know, just to talk a little bit about this Square trade. So I just thought that this would have been something that, you know, again, it's before that huge move down. So I don't, you know, this is a 20-minute chart. So we got in this sort of as that huge move down was happening. So again, just trying to figure out like all of this here, you know, try to get back up to the upside. That's 59.60. Like there's a lot of room to go, especially back to VWAP of 59.12. Okay, well, here comes Square right back up. So I'm surprised. There we go. Okay, there. So I did have some offers there. So we take an 89. Honestly, it's a bang trade right there. I like this trade. Good move back up to the upside. Not a great mover right now, that's for sure. But, you know, if we can get in and stair-step it out, the 50 period is really rapidly coming down now. So we have to watch out for 59. I do have an offer at 93 now. So Square right here, if you're rocking with me, it's working, but not working great. That Apple trade was, again, like, so that's 3 times today, at least 3 times today, that we were basically had the very bottom or top of something. And this is another example right here on Apple. So I don't know, man. Like, I feel like we are picking the right spots. I've gone through this before where, and again, everybody will trade their own stuff, right? But like where I probably have too many shares, so when it gets to a level, I'm like, I just got to punch out. I've practiced holding on to like 25% of things, but sometimes that doesn't really work out either. But there's that long at 191. You know, I'm not even... I think that area out was to do with right here. We had talked about yesterday's sort of bottom, or this pre-market bottom, sorry, not yesterday's, this pre-market bottom that we had to look at. I hate when pre-market bottoms are broken, and it's just, So I did, that pre-market bottom is 95. I gave it not much more than that, man, 89s. So we're out at 89 there. The bottom is 82. So if somehow we can make that decision, then we're hella in the money, but we did not make that decision. We made the other decision, and that's an out. But you know what?
Oh my God.
You stay who you are, and there it is right there. There's another win for us on NVIDIA. I told you we'd have another $2 winner. This is a $2 winner, and I told you I wouldn't take it. I'm not taking it. So there it is right now. The last time I said this, it went down and I lost $1, so that was smart. So if you're in this with me, you may want to think about it. It's back up to the 200 period. This stop order is really, I'm really upset about that, but what are we going to do? As soon as I got in, it triggered out. So I feel like I had a setting wrong or something. But there it was, huge move to the upside. We would be, much, much happier if we hadn't made that move, but we did. So there it goes. Nice move back up to the upside. Now 211 in the money. The square is a dime piece. Palantir still 30 cents. And it's an hour until podcast.
Yeah, we got an hour till the podcast today. You can probably guess at least one of the topics. If you can't guess one of the topics, then you probably just tuned in and slept in this morning. So we may or may not talk a little bit about NVIDIA. Just going to throw that out there. I see people talking about Riot and Mara. Bitcoin did make another bounce to the upside. BTC's had a good day, but it's turning around a little bit. So I was just going to go over, I did get into ARM. We were just talking about that, reclaiming the quarters. So I am into that trade. But Coinbase, why is that still an SOUN? Someone said SOUN, I called it up, wasn't moving, not going to trade it. Coinbase trying to retake this high. Now, if it gets to 112, said this morning, 112 has been a monster level of resistance, 112, 113 to be sure. But this is so super strong. Look at the bounce that the juices just had up that 108. That's the exact place I was trying to go long over and over again at that 108. If it wants to put in a higher low, I'm going to be all for that. So I'm looking for this 109 to hold back in. If it gets back to 108, I'd be a little bit surprised. But this 109 level, to be sure, that's where I'm looking for the dip buy in Coinbase. I don't know if you guys just heard I was kind of vibing to whatever that music was. I don't know if you guys heard that, but
They did, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I did.
Well, we did.
So there's the entry when it reclaimed VWAP. If it gets back to 63, 63 has been a bit of a brick wall on the stock pretty much all afternoon. We'll go back into that.
So we rang register again. There's $2. We took it. We just got out 488.75 or something right there. So we got out there. It was the 200 period moving average. So there it is, man. Another one there for NVIDIA. Man, oh man, we are like exercising demons today, boys. All right, so let's just wait to see what happens now. I do want to get another long if we break above here, 489.70. I want to get that long. So if we do break above 489.70, I want to get the long. We just got out. Obviously, you can see whenever I get out, it's going to be a mistake. So there goes the move back up to the upside. So 489.70 right there. We'll try it. And then we're going to get out if it breaks below, a little bit more below wherever we're at right now. See, there's my out, 83, 84, right there off this long. Kind of a good one, though, because that's 486.50, out 488.80, so about $2 and change. Now we'll wait to see where it goes. That's I want that price. Okay, so I did 70, that wick top there. Not that it matters, is 80. So it's 60s or 70s or 80s. I'm maybe just 40. Maybe we should go long at 40. I don't know. It shouldn't matter anyways, but we'll wait to see. It should matter for P&L wise. And then if we come back down and we break, we kind of break VWAP or break back down, then we'll get out and give that $2 back. I don't know. I think that this could go. So we'll see. Remember we talked about not getting long? Well, obviously.
Well, the futures dropped 100 points and then bounced. So it's very.
I know, but off that VWAP, it's too bad it was so dramatic. That 191, we knew we liked that level, but it just squeezed us just a little bit too much. So unfortunately, there it goes. Nice move today. What can you do for that? So we'll wait to see where it goes. I'm excited to get home and see how the cleaning lady did.
You guys have a cleaning lady?
We do have a cleaning lady, yeah.
Ours comes on Friday, every other Friday. Although I have no idea if she's coming this week.
We just started it because,
Well, when you have anybody that has a family with kids and are active, you'll probably get it, right? Every single night you're out, and it is what it is.
A dog, a cat, 3 kids.
Yeah, it is. So I'm trying to figure out, like, Coinbase, I just showed you guys, not Coinbase, you're getting a lower high in Bitcoin. Mara's breaking out and just did this on big volume on Mara. Again, this is what is happening in Coin, just sliding over my other desktop. It's not as if it's going haywire on the 3-minute. This is a lower high that's being put in. My first thought is fade it, like fade 11, because that's a big parabolic move. I didn't see anything in particular on it. If it gets and tries to run the high, I would look to fade that play. I still like Apple if we get the fade on that name. It's not really getting up into the 190, 150s or 60s. Like, I'm looking up at it on my other chart. It's kind of stalling out here. But unless I see something which is a reason for why Mara is going a little bit out of hand, then to me it's like an 11 fade. I still want to grab trend in Coinbase. It has yet to break the high. It's stair-stepping to the upside. The next step after a 108 bounce, to me, would be a consolidation in front of 109. And the high of the day is literally 110. Like 108 support, 110 top. If it bounces off 109, I would just take a long in front of 109. If it loses, it loses. But at least you're going with the trend with Coinbase. As to why Mara is making this break, I haven't seen anything in particular. Do we have locates on it? Is a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. You may have to pay for locates on Mara, I think.
No, we don't. Okay.
Don't have to pay for them?
See, it's so weird. Like, but when I say that, if you want to go short, you have to borrow stock in order to execute a short position. You have to be able to get those borrows. We call them locates. 99% of all equities out there, day trader world, are free to short. Like, they're easy to borrow from our broker. Now, there is a few that are going to be paid for short. If it's not easy to borrow, then you have to pay for locates. In other words, pay for the privilege to be able to short shares in the market and then buy them back. Usually it's only a couple of cents per thousand. Something I paid for was 1/8 of 1 cent this morning to short, which is essentially cheap. But this is free. So I'm just sitting on the offer, looking to short it here, and the local top is 11.96. So I'm risking 8 cents and hopefully not sneezing. Slippage probably makes it 9 or 10 cents total is what I'd be risking on Mara here.
Yeah, so Lawrence, same thing what Neil was just talking about there. You did not have to pay for it, or you did?
No, I did not.
Okay, so
But we have in the past.
that's what I was just going to answer that question. So shout out to Lawrence here. If you guys are watching the chat, you may or may not have had the same problems, especially it looks like if you're on TD Ameritrade Schwab. Look at this. Look at this move down. Hallelujah, man. Wow, I am just really thankful right now as we head into Thanksgiving. Look at this move coming in right now. Wow. Oh, here, I got it. Why am I not zoomed out there? So, all right, that was a little bit of a shock there to the system. NVIDIA, wow. There we go. You know, sometimes, like, just we talk about sticking with, you know, sort of what you're doing. That's like, thank God we did that at that 200 period, because, like, honestly, I would not be able to function properly. That's a good move. I'm just playing around, but that's just like so frustrating today on NVIDIA. All right, so nice move down. I'm not going to reload this. No, forget it. I already look. And by the way, remember I said, like, oh, you know, you could take this 40. Well, look, it actually gave you a 52. I was lucky, 20 cents away from plowing into this thing for the long. It comes right back up. It hits past resistance and then drops down. We talked about, I was like, you could go long 40. Good thing we didn't, and we just went up a little bit more to get that confirmation, because there it goes right back into the downside again. So pretty good trading here. That's going to make me upset, because it's fine because we got in and out. So, like, we wound up losing probably 10 cents or whatever the spread was. Shout out to Adara. But it's like right there when we bought that back on that, like 486.65. Like, so we basically had to give ourselves up about 40 cents there. So that's the part that sucks. But, you know, we're happy with getting out on that one as well. Let's just review Square. Remember we said that the 200 period was sloping down? Well, we just got out at 58. Well, we're out of half. 58.92. Not huge. You're only at 87. But again, trying to get out in front of this. So we got to put another order right now in and around 91, 92 on this one as well. So far, so good here. But looking for more love on the longs. And if Square breaks, guys, like we've already taken That's only a dime, so that's trying to cover this loss. So we could still have the L here on square, especially if this doesn't pan out the rest of the day. So let's wait to see what happens. We're trying to go, we are long. We're trying to see if it breaks 59. Doesn't look like it wants to do that. Look at the futures, still hovering around. So all good, man. Apple's going to, going to get me a little bit, but let's wait to see what else we got going on. Intel, maybe? No, Intel's really going to haunt me a little bit because we were short, basically at the highs. Got stopped out right there. That was, thank God, that was only like, again, a little small piece. Oh man, like I don't really drink, but like I need a drink because this is.
Well, thankfully, tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of, there's some things to
Problem is
watch.
I'm
There's football to
volunteering
watch.
again tomorrow. I'm volunteering at my kid's school distributing food.
Oh, that's fun to do. I actually have to take the car. Whatever. I gotta take my car in. It's a day off, and like the thing about it here is like it's not a holiday. So like one of the things when you have a U.S. holidays, it's a chance to be somewhat productive. When you have like we get a day off, right? So all the things are open and you can do stuff. So I usually intend to have like a million things. My wife is like, we need to get this done and we need to get that done. But I'm watching at least 2 of the football games. That's a given. No matter what I have to do in the morning, I'm watching football tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I have Kenneth Walker in fantasy, but he's hurt. But I got guys going in the night game, so I'll be watching that. And I also have Jameson Williams on Detroit.
Nice.
Who I'm only playing in one league out of sheer. I have no choice but to play him in one of my leagues.
He's been a little disappointing. I feel like I have him too. He's got to get his legs under him. I
like his talent.
How could you not like him? But
all 3 games are good. I think the Dallas game is probably. I think that might not end up as entertaining as people want it to be. But until Mara here, just to go back to trading for a quick second, Mara, it's chilling out. Like I'm short here at 88, but the top is 96. I'm stopping out at that top. I have bids in case we get that flush down.
You want to take this question? I don't want to interrupt you. No, it's just about having size on the SPY. I don't know if you want to. I just don't want the size to leave.
What does SPY? Okay, I'll get level 2 up here.
It's way away from it. Sorry, I thought it was closer.
What does it mean if SPY has 75,000 on the bid at 454.58?
I thought it was closer than that.
Literally what it means is somebody wants to buy 75,000 shares. That's what it means. However, look at the level 2.
Yeah.
Look at the time and sales. Now, usually the tell for whether you want to believe a size order is the nature in which lit orders are being filled. If you're not seeing, and when I say lit orders, anything that is not a dark pool order is a lit order. It means that someone's actually bidding, and you can see them on the bid, you can see them on the ask, and they want the shares. That's what I mean by a lit order. That's just terminology. But you're getting most of the bigger prints that I'm seeing come through. Yeah, there's anything, I'm not filtering on, I don't filter on this one, but if I were to filter, you'd see a lot of the D prints are pretty tiny, so they're hitting the lit bids. My guess is probably not fugazi. Maybe someone actually wants to buy and get something done at the end of the day because I'm seeing a lot of lit volume, but it's not on the bid anymore. As to whether or not it'll move the stock, the easiest way to tell is whether or not they leave that order. Okay, we just came back in here a little bit, so you want to see if it drops back in.
I'm trying to find out what's happening.
I hate to leave it. It's not flashing far enough down to be able to see that size in the bid. But when it comes back and the person hasn't moved, that would be a good sign. Because they just traded away from their price. If it gets back down there and you see the same order, maybe you want to play off of it. We've traded off size before. Generally speaking, it's like scalp in front of it. Get in, get out very quickly. If it breaks, get the heck out of Dodge. That would be the strategy I deploy. But I've never done that on the SPY. I've done that in individual stocks. I have never once traded in front of size on the SPY or the Qs. I would never do it on the futures. If you know the guy that they scapegoated for the flash crash, he was a spoofer on what he actually did was spoofing on the futures, and somehow they transitioned that into you're responsible for the flash crash. I have no idea how that logic worked out, but I don't think you want to mess around with spoofers on the futures market. On individual names, you can definitely get something. So I'm taking some profit. I want to ring the register. Mara is pulling back in. But remember, this all started with a breakout on volume in Mara with Bitcoin going, right? So retracement, going to take profit on the way down. I just got the 1-to-1 level. But the other thing is the market possibly coming back in here. the arm long coming back into 62. Now, my intention is not to hold it all the way to 61.5. With only 50 minutes to go, you're a little bit late in the day. It is the afternoon of what is going to be a longer weekend or holiday shortened weekend. So I'm giving this to just under 62 even. It's at the VWAP trade. Because it did stall out here at 50, it would behoove me. I haven't used the school word today at all. It would behoove me to get an offer out at that resistance. If I'm shown where resistance is, then I'm going to take it out in front of it.
Yep, that's really all you can do. I never even thought about, I mean, I thought about it and then I stopped thinking about it. But the thing is like heading into the weekend, it's pretty important here because, you know, you are going to have a very, very light couple days of trade. Like even just heading now, starting now and then into Friday, like you're only open a half day. Like there's only like 4 more hours left in the market, basically. You have an hour today, and then what we open. Well, I guess the pre-market will probably be pretty dead. It'll be okay, but I think it'll probably be pretty dead. I mean, you know, day after Thanksgiving.
Historically is.
Like, I don't know. I feel like big family time, big get-together, turkey sleepy time.
Well, no earnings, right? Like
so on and so forth. Yeah, and that's the other thing. And then it's like, plus you just got NVIDIA now, so that's already out of here. Yeah, so yeah, maybe that is right. Maybe you could now see a little bit of a fade here. Into the close, possibly. But just, I mean, the NASDAQ is just so hot fire. Like, look at this, man. Super hot fire, actually. Like,
but I'm not a rapper.
Straight up. Like, look at this. Look at the NASDAQ. Like, this is November 1st right here. You know, 14.4.
What? Huh? 14? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, down here.
You were referencing the bottom.
Yeah. I was referencing 14 trading days ago. Like, or less than that. Like
those were fun times way back then.
Fun times, man. Like, you know, back then I used to walk to school uphill and downhill.
In the snow.
Yeah, I used to go up and downhill there, both ways there. Like,
for the record, it feels like I'm trading with my keyboard is made of ice or something.
Right now?
My hands are freezing.
Oh, actually, see, that's reversal thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now it's like Bizarro world. I feel fine. Yeah, no. So, anyways. It's walking uphill both ways. So like it's just that's amazing how far we've come now in the NASDAQ. So I could see some kind of a fade. With that being said, we just went longer right there. We just got 77s or whatever, just giving us a better price. Our out here on Square is down here. I wonder if the market, again, remember when we were up here, I said the market, I'm not really going to get interested in the long until we came to VWAP. Well, it didn't even come to VWAP. It just was like, see ya, all the way down there. And then it said, nope, we'll go down to the low of the day and then bounce exactly off that level. So I'm just looking over at Apple and better not say anything if you don't have anything nice to say. But right here, if I was on the midday, I may know what some sort of a pattern is called right here. But right now, this is just bunching up. That's the pattern, official pattern.
Consolidation.
Yeah, the consolidation bunch right there. You can Google that and you'll find it, or not. But you are bouncing, trying to get through this. So I feel like that bottom's been made, and I don't really feel like chicken. So when I get home, I got to go. Again, my daughter has freaking practice again. Like, what am I even doing? So my wife is on the
raising a killer, Sean.
This is how crazy.
You know what I mean by it.
No, we are though.
Not a literal killer.
I could be. She's crazy.
Oh, come on.
But the idea behind all of this is my wife has a board meeting tonight, and I have this. Like, it's just, it never stops. But it's okay. We like it. Like you said, you're only young once. That's why you have kids, experience.
Well, I plan to be young at least 7 or 8 times in my own head. Like,
I told my kids, like, when I die, I'm not cremated or buried, I'm going to be frozen, so that when they figure it all out, I'm coming back, baby. That's part of it.
Cryogenic freeze.
The thing is, like, I guess it depends. This is the other thing. Do you actually want to come back because? Like, then you'd be your 90-year-old self or however old you were. Like, if you could
you'd have to freeze yourself.
Get that pill to bring you back.
You have to do it early. Like,
yeah,
exactly. No, that's not as cool. It's not as cool as it is in science fiction books. In science fiction books, it's always some like interesting stuff when you like wake up 1,000 years in the future. Really, how it plays out is you're sad because all the people you cherish and love are gone, and you're old as dirt. And you understand absolutely nothing. Like, it ain't like Futurama, man. Like, it's not gonna play out like that great show, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of things don't play out like those Fox cartoon shows.
You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know. Blame Canada. You know, that's South Park. Like,
I love South Park.
I know, but don't they have something else called the Pandaverse or something now? Pandaverse?
Oh, I've heard something about
Yeah, I want to
this.
watch that. There was some sort of a new.
What's the deal with that? Who?
I don't know. Maybe Ramin would know it because, okay, Boomer, maybe we're not supposed to know about South Park. I don't know. We too old for South Park over there?
We're not boomers, first of all.
Cartman.
It's about the housing crisis? Oh, I'm all in. Okay. You had me there. That's interesting.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we're all about that. Just a couple of things here. Not going to look the gift horse in the mouth. It's 3:15. We got 45 minutes till the close. We got 45 minutes to the podcast. We got 45 minutes for some of you. Maybe you're going to eat some turkey while watching the podcast or have a brew. I will not. If you guys are having a brew while watching it, I'm wishing I was too, but I actually got to drive home, so I'm not going to. Arm back above VWAP, but it's not churning. This market doesn't want to go. I'm actually thinking 50 could be the top of this move. Just respectfully, sometimes you go sideways in the last hour before this kind of a weekend. I'm thinking that could definitely be true. Daniel saying coin short swing trade. So for I have never swung short anything in my life. I do not go like the only like the most bearish thing that I've done in my long-term account is sell covered calls. If you even want to call that bearish. I don't think that, or like get out of a long position, something along those lines. So I don't really do it. I'm willing to tell you that I personally believe this is a resistance level on coin because it's shown it to us that it has been. Right? Like that's the reason why I said 112, because this is where it is in the day. As a day trader, you have the luxury of getting short and just getting stopped out for a reasonable loss. You swing this short, just remember, it may be a holiday long weekend, but Bitcoin ain't taking no holiday.
Oh, hell
Okay,
no.
so that's trading tomorrow. That's trading all day on Friday. It's trading over the weekend. Just understand that anything can happen, and if it does, you could be gapped up to oblivion, and who knows? Like, I don't do it. It's a resistance level. As a day trader, you have the distinct advantage of not having to worry about it. If you were to play it via options, at least that way you can control your losses, know exactly what you're risking. If you short it and hold over this weekend, I don't know where you're, like, I don't know what your risk is. It's all well and good to set a stop at 115, but what difference does it matter if you come Monday morning and it gaps up to 120? Right? So you got to structure your own trades. I think it's an important level, and it's been a great short off of that level. But I'm speaking as a day trader. Never swung a short. I've occasionally made swing trades over the years that I've been involved in the markets, and they have all been to the long side. So that's that.
Yeah, I'm not. Today's podcast will be Neil and Brendo, and the next week will be Sharif, and then we'll figure it out from there. But we were also talking about, maybe adding to the podcast some longer term tradings and things like that. So maybe if you guys, swing trades and stuff like that, we can have guests on certain podcasts as well. So there's lots. Thank you. There's lots that we should be able to do, and it's going to be really exciting. It's nice to venture into that. I just saw today we got uploaded to Apple, so it's really nice. We are waiting to figure everything out. So some of the podcasts won't have the, they will hopefully moving forward, but last week's podcast won't have the video up of it. So
I thought we fixed that. Did we not?
No, we did not. We fixed it on YouTube.
On YouTube, it's there.
I think it's on. I don't know how Spotify works. I've never looked at a Spotify podcast before.
Well, I can check later.
But anyway,
I listen to
Rumble?
it on Spotify myself.
Does Rumble have podcasts? I mean, we're basically just trying to throw it out to anybody. Like,
Does it
not
really?
political. I don't know. Someone just said Rumble. I don't know. Dan McIsaac said Rumble. Wherever it goes, man.
Why
like,
not?
Honestly,
Wherever
we don't
why
have.
not? We don't care.
We don't. It doesn't matter to us whether or not the platform.
Just
because
get it
the
out
thing
there.
is like if you stream on Apple, then are you like a Democrat? Like, what does, I don't know. So anyways, we'll wait to see there about Rumble. Rumble, a Canadian company, of course, as well. So located here. It's probably listed in Cyprus or something.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Located here, we call it Canadian.
Yeah, exactly. I'm down with that. All right, so here we go.
Proclaim
Let's
them.
go, man. Spin it one more time because we're still here. And there it goes, Square, another one. So we just reloaded Square right there. There's the reload at 79. It's at 92. Look, man, 13 cents when the market's moving no sense. I'll take it. Let's put it in our pocket and see what happens now with Square.
That would have been a good segue if we were doing happening now just now.
Oh, yeah. What's happening now with Square? Yeah, you're right.
Oh, next.
Damn you, Adara.
Okay, absolutely. Forget that Sean said that, and then not tomorrow, on Friday, when I use that exact same line at about 9:59.
Yes,
Just do that whole thing. Like, imagine I'm doing the thing in Men in Black and hitting that, and you guys don't remember any of it. And then I'm going to use that line. It's going to be fresh and good to go. Speaking of cents, I mean, SoFi is only ever going to move cents because, well, A, it's denominated in dollars and cents. B, because it's a $7 stock. It did bounce off VWAP. The only difference between catching this, I would have gone long this. Had the futures had not done what they did, I would have played this off VWAP anyways because it was a previous breakout level. So bouncing off of 86, 87 here, that's 86. I got 88. I just printed some 92s. If it makes a new low, get out. I don't know if we see 7 again. I don't know why I'm missing a little bit. This did not halt. Obviously, SoFi didn't halt there. It's just missing a couple of ticks. I can show you. You can consolidate and then went another step to the downside. No, it's interesting. You guys watch the show. You know, oftentimes my 3-minute chart decides to, just leave out some critical information. So I'm going to get an offer at 95. With 40 minutes to run here, I still think there's some time for this to get back up to 7 even. Definitely going to be an interesting level. $7. Okay, maybe we'll see about Friday. Friday, a lot of things can or cannot happen. Like breakout trades on a holiday shortened day, I think you want to be careful with them. I do like the notion of this continuing to fill a bit of this gap in. But whether I actually go long, I'm going to search for only longs off the bottom of this channel when they present themselves. But taking a breakout on Friday, you want to make sure there's enough volume to support it. Generally speaking, at the open is the best time to take a break on a holiday shortened day. So I'm going to stick to that plan. Mara is slowing down in terms of pace, pulling back in. I was able to get filled at 78. Nothing better. It just popped into 75 and caught a bid. I'm not as optimistic that I'm going to get something in the 60s here. I won't reload this trade. Very likely it already bounced. This is the play off of 11. It got to 1096. The thing about shorting, or at least the way I look at it, or even you could be going long off a level. Like to me, if you're shorting this off of 11, that happened. The top was 96. That's the pullback you got. If it goes back up to 11, I don't think that's shorting off. This was a short off 11. I'm not shorting it a second time. I always want the first time through. It's no different from, like if you were long NVIDIA off of 480, like if it goes to 480.70 and bounces $7 or whatever number you want to make up, goes back to 80, that's not the long off 80 in my opinion. To me, it already happened, and you're trying to catch a secondary move, which I would never like as much. So as far as I'm concerned, the 11 trade already happened on Mara. I've burned myself a million times trading something the second time through, trying to capture the magic of what you missed the first time. Just ask me about Sundial. Shop is not joking today. Shopify,
wasn't it?
Shopify has not been joking since the beginning of November, right here.
25%.
I mean, like my out on Shopify, I'd have to look back, but trust me, mine's worse. I promise you.
Mine was like, well, I did on the show. It was 2 days ago. But
I sold Shopify a while back. Like it was a while back. But Shopify is up now 50% since the beginning of the month, like November 1st to the high. And it's about to, I mean, it just double topped. The 71.50 is a double top on the daily. I don't know if it can break that today. I'm skeptical. Like, it's not going to break it. I had one trade in shop today. Long at 70, check this out. So long at 71.16, out at 70.95. Okay, 20 cents worth of risk.
That's good.
It would be easy to say you should reverse that trade, but then it wasn't.
Why would you? Because it is long the stock.
I had zero plans on reversing it. I thought this was going to make a stair step up, and the next stair was the consolidation, take the consolidation, bounce higher. And it never broke that level on the daily. I was looking for it to take out that double top on the daily and go parabolic this morning. Like, that's the play I'm looking for. Didn't happen. Maybe you get it next week, but you're going to have to wait till next week for that.
It's always about second guessing, but on that stock, for example, just to answer, it's not a question, just talk about it because Neil was just mentioning it too. Like, I wouldn't go reverse that short because Shopify is a strong stock and it was up even when that happened. So it's like the same thing here with Square, right? Square's up today. So instead of looking for that break, I was looking for dip buy opportunities into the bottom again. So that's the thing. But now Square, we just got 94s and 90. We just got a 95. That's a 94 and no, that's a 94 fill. So that's a good fill there at 94. So we're pretty happy with that there on Shopify. So on Square, sorry. All right. Funding secured, and I don't pay any of the guests ever anything. But for the recap show, we've got another one. Another female guest coming up in a couple weeks. So we're gonna, I'm just gonna wait for that, but we got another one coming through near the end to talk all about technical analysis, Fibonacci, things like that. And then I just want to say here, Mr. Love Shack, shout out to the B-52s and everything like that. That's like one of my mother's favorite songs, Love Shack. So little old place where we can get together. So there it goes. He wants to know, yeah, you're an options trader. If you want to, I messaged you, let me know. I'll vet, and then you can come on the show. So let me know, send me a message, and I just hit you back right there. Send me a message on, I said, I felt really cool about what I said to you on the response, so let me find it. Here it is right here. At Mr. Love Shack, message me on X. That's right. More gangster when you talk like that, you know.
It does sound more
gangster.
gangster.
It's like, yo,
when you
hit
say
me
that.
up on X, you know, like, what's up with that?
It's definitely.
You know? So, anyways.
I don't think I've actually said that.
Neither have I. That's the first time I said it. That's why I felt
Yeah.
like.
I still say
there.
I still say Twitter, to be honest.
Oh,
with
Mr.
you.
Love Shack says you got it. Okay.
Holla, Mr.
Holla.
I love that.
Who wants to see Mr. Love Shack on this show?
I think at this point,
Let's see what happens.
don't we all want to see Mr.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is,
forget vetting. You know, just
nah. We're gonna.
no.
We're
Look, obviously,
vet.
for obvious reasons, like you can't just.
Hope I don't gotta take my dog to the vet.
You never really know.
Damn it, man.
That was random.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about vet. You know, like you never want to take your animal to. Well, you do for a checkup. But
I was gonna say, like it's
they're
probably a
so
normal
expensive
thing.
if there's ever anything wrong. Oh my God. My message on X is closed. What do you mean? Nah, I mean, well, you probably got to, I don't know, you got to follow me? People message me every day, so I don't know. You tell me, yo.
I don't know how that works. So just one quick update. I moved my stop down. That 75 was unbreakable. So, well, probably not. Who knows? Like maybe it does break it. But the second it bounces off that 1075, 1050, $11, those are pretty significant numbers. You're running out of time in the day. Take it and run. Break even is a little bit arbitrary, but it was also, it showed you it was bouncing to 85. So it bounces off 75 to 85 like 3 times. It breaks 85, I can get out at 86 when I was in at 87 and 88. So I'm just going to get out of Mara. As mentioned, if it gets to 11 again, not making the trade. If anything, maybe it's a little itty-bitty sneaky breakout. Let me just check out what BTC is doing. I didn't draw a line there. Anyways, a little bit of a double top here on the 3 minute.
Yeah.
It could break out. I doubt I take it. I actually have to, I'm going to move to the desk in the last 10 minutes at some point, but.
Not at some point, you just said what point?
Well, it's usually somewhere
Last 10
between
minutes?
350, 355.
Yeah,
There.
do it.
Just want to make sure I'm set up for it. But like if this breaks out the top, Mara could go squeezing. That's what I didn't show you guys. I mean, if you trade Mara, you probably know this. But the short float on Marathon is 25%.
Boom square, by the way.
Which would be exactly why you're getting a bit of an extended move to the upside there. So I got out. We'll get into something else. We'll probably trade at least one crypto name on Friday because I would expect you'll at least have some volatility there. That's one of the few places you might be able to have.
That's actually one of the things that it's a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. Like when we say, okay, it's a holiday, therefore nothing's happening. You will
There's always something happening.
find something happening. So it's like it was always like when we had our office and stuff like that. Like you literally, like right now they actually need to force me to take holidays. So I I love taking them. Don't get me wrong, but I also can always find time to do things. So I love being in front of the market, and so we'll be here. We're open every single Canadian holiday, but of course, because the markets are closed, and we yet to have crypto offering on the platform. When we do, we still will probably take U.S. holidays, but at least that will be an option there for traders with Day Trade the World to do that as well. Okay, so just real quick here. All right, so there goes Square. Let's just do it. I mean, it's a good one. We've definitely picked that bottom right there. Nice move back up to the upside. So we're just gonna wait on Square and immediately throw it to Brendan.
We were talking about this going back a week or so ago, guys. Elon Musk now reportedly, this is from the New York Post, I want to mention that, SpaceX going to sell or offer shares at a valuation of $150 billion in the next month, again, according to the New York Post. So SpaceX going to sell shares at $150 billion, according to the NYP.
Wait,
that all?
what? 150 billion? Yeah, I have to find out exactly. Good question.
Well, I mean,
Fabian?
without knowing what their last private raise was, like you always, it's like in reference to the previous valuation whenever they had a private raise, and you plot those. You know what's interesting about that? Plot those prices when a stock IPOs, because you don't have any levels to work off of. But you do have previous funding raises like this one, so you'll know what the valuation would be. And I remember, like, obviously ARM didn't come to the down. See, this is the other problem. One of the I actually remember this now. And I did this to myself on ARM. Is I remember reading something about, there's this level, if it gets to 42, I think it was like 42 or 43, a previous funding level, and that would be a big level on ARM when it was private. So in my head, I'm like, if 50 breaks, it's going to 42. And that was my intention, was to go long in my personal account at 42. I anchored myself to that price, and then when it presented me with a different opportunity at a different price, I didn't take it. That's what anchoring is. It's when in your mind you have a number, and then once it's ingrained, I don't want to buy at 50 because I thought 42 was where I was going to get the stock. And so then to me, regardless of what the stock is telling me, I then don't like buying it here when it bounces off 50 at 52. Everything about my plan to get into the stock, waiting for earnings and looking for any strength and buying off of that, should have said buy it at 52, but I was anchored in my head that it never dipped to 42. And those are important prices, but without knowing relative to the previous raise, that's just a number. I mean, when SpaceX goes public, if and when it ever does, I'm going to want to buy it. You know me.
Aha.
Aha. Oh, you figured it out?
Aha.
Aha.
Here it is right here. Because I was looking, shout out to Matt and everybody in the chat. There are people that have been messaging me, but see, this was selected. People you will allow message requests from, people you follow will always be able to message you.
What's the default?
But I don't know. It was selected verified users.
Oh,
so
that's
I'm going to
so
go over.
sneaky.
I like that feature, but because we're a man of the people, we will do that.
I know why they default.
So right there, yeah. So there we go. Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'll be here next week. But there it is right there. So now you can go. So there you go, Mr. I feel so silly saying it. There you go, Mr. Love Shack. You can now message me. So there you go. Oh God, now everyone's gonna be flooding me. All right, it's all good. Definitely check that. And if you are messaging me, it is way better to do it on X because I do not check Instagram nearly as much. Just posting fun stuff up on there. But X is where, like, you know, everybody that I have on my show messages me. Elon messages me there. Carp, all those people. So just that's where we're getting the messages. So be careful there. Kathy Wood and everything. So, oh, damn, we just got a message just coming right in right now, right there. So there you go. Okay, I just see somebody else. I don't know if that's whatever, but more people messaging now. So thank you for that. I'm glad we were able to fix it. So Square right now breaking through 59.
That's a good look.
Yeah, it's a good look.
Well, I mean, you guys, since they've done it tiered, like they're trying to get people to be check
that
all
was
stuff,
you,
so it makes a
Mr.
lot of sense.
Loveshack.
Bull Shark Trader, why does he? I want your number like Kathy Wood. I guess they're referring to the. I don't have that button.
Yeah. The problem is I had to give
don't
my
have that
cell
button.
phone number to the guy at Tim Hortons because he befriended me. Ask Brendo. Like when we were in there, he's like, "Man, you want to grab some beers and everything like that?" Anyways, he has my license. So
You gave him the digits. That's random. You just gave the Kathy Wood.
hello.
I knew Fabian was gonna do it.
Always missing it, man. She knows
knew he
to
was
call
gonna do that.
after.
Chris Magnuson, just to answer your question there, I didn't bite the bullet and buy at a higher price. If I had actually gotten in, like I wouldn't be like waxing poetic about, like when you're long-term investing, just get in. Like it doesn't matter. If I'm gonna hold ARM until I'm giving it to my daughter, like what should I have actually cared if I started to position at 52 or 42? When you really think about it, you just want to be in the market for 40 years in something you like, not necessarily getting the perfect price. But when you're a trader, you get wrapped up in getting a good price. When you're cheap too, you get wrapped up in having a good price. So it is 15 minutes to the year balances. The early look, as you could probably imagine, is very small. It's 80 million. I would not expect a big imbalance today. Doesn't mean it won't be, but I'm just not expecting it. SoFi, it's a decent bounce relative to SoFi, obviously, being a $7 stock. but you can see it really start to slow down here. It's been a good day for SoFi, been basically net long since 10:30, but it is going to run out of steam at some point. ARM sort of as well. Like ARM, for a stock that had a $7 range today, since that dip in the futures, you've essentially put in a loose dollar range, but for most of this time, it's been a 50-cent range. So if that's a 50-cent range, I'm going to take the inside of it. I'll give it a chance that maybe it breaks back out at the end of the day here. Give it some time if it's going to happen. If there's anything you guys are looking at in the chat that's moving abnormal to the market, I'd love to hear it. But like you're getting what you're getting here, and if you can scalp some trades out here like Square, actually Block, you keep saying Square, at least once we'll get it right. Block to the upside, ARM's been able to move, SoFi's been able to move. Riot and Mara Mara I should say. I don't want to assume that Riot's going. Mara's the one I can tell you is going. Mara got out here at 86. Yeah, it's looking like it wants to take that 11 level. It might be a good breakout. I just don't see myself taking this late in the day, going into the holiday weekend. Put the short on. It did give a winning trade, but it didn't give like that home run in view. Ideally, you get a bunch out here, you hold on for that last third to grab some 60s and then into VWAP for that last bit. That's what you really want to happen on a pullback trade. Generally speaking, a parabolic mover, the home run to me is all the way into VWAP and then just get the heck out of Dodge. Mara, following along with what's going on with BTC. I'm not saying for sure you want to look at Bitcoin on a Friday, but that's one of the places I'm going to want to be because I'd expect at least relatively decent volume there because crypto never goes to sleep.
I just want to make sure, crypto does not go to sleep at all. I've just answered about like 15 DMs, so thank you so much, everybody messaging me here on X. I just want to make sure because there's many imitators, but only one original. At Trader TV Sean. So it's the same for all of us. I'll be following. I follow a few people, but it'll be Neil Brendan, the same thing there. As you guys are seeing some more things flash in, so I'm gonna take it off there so you don't see everybody that's messaging me. But as you go through there, definitely try to find it. There's about on Instagram, there's probably about 20 or 30 fakes, maybe as we speak, and on Twitter, there's a few. It's really good though, Twitter as opposed to Instagram for getting rid of the fakes. So just double check it if you are following the right person. And Neil, myself, although we keep on talking a little bit about Bitcoin, we're not going to ever ask you guys for any funds or anything like that. No. We actually don't charge for anything, which is what makes us the realest out there, in my opinion, anyways. And the fact that I'm literally showing you every single trade and
we get paid in smiles.
All that we get paid in
and
go ahead. Just by you guys being here. So,
and in that vein, I just want to remind everybody too.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you like the show and pass it on to your friends. Hey, it's Thanksgiving, right? Like this is a time you're going to be with your friends and family. If most families are like mine, it's like you always say like, yeah, don't talk politics and the markets and that stuff at the table. Well, we all know. Well, most people, how it goes. Like my pops, he's not shying away from it. I saw him yesterday. He came by to drop something off. Like he was there for like 10 minutes. And the first thing he was talking about was OpenAI. He's like, what an unbelievable mess. What the hell were they thinking? He wouldn't even stop. I'm like, Dad, hey, how's it going? How was the day? And then he just wanted to launch into it. So that's our table. But yeah, talk about the show. Talk about your experiences. You got to be able to do that. I was about to show you, but you guys can get the idea. SMCI, this name, whenever NVIDIA moves, this moves as well. It's a very similar looking chart. Like this is a stock which is going to give you some opportunities. But, I want to keep an eye on this. I traded it a couple of times, and the spread is a little bit big, so you have to adjust the mentality, or at least the way that you're actively trading it. But look at this. Look, I highlighted this 212 level for obvious reasons all the way back in June. But if you look at this bouncing off of 233 times, with essentially the same top at 300, for it to triple bottom here, what if this were to take out this high? Like NVIDIA got two highs and pulled back multiple times. This never got there. I'm going to be watching out for SMCI. I know a lot of people talk about it and track this stock, but look for this. If it breaks at 320, could certainly go to the upside. Do I drop the diet for Thanksgiving? Diet? Like, do I stop eating apple fritters? No, I do not stop eating apple fritters.
Oh, you'd be nuts to do that.
No, that's look. Here's the thing. I actually don't diet. I do time restricted eating, which saves me from eating a bunch of junk, which I probably would do after like 8 o'clock. I stop eating after dinner, but I don't do diets. I kind of feel like I talk about eating pastries and all that good stuff, but I am actually very disciplined in almost every other facet of how I eat and how I work out. So that allows me to sort of get away with and acknowledging the fact that I have an issue with pastries. I just got to have them. But I don't think, like, you form good habits. I've never been a fan of diets per se. It's like lifestyle changes. Like, if you make a big change, that's going to do something. It's making those like small little changes that don't really hang on. Like, they can work. I shouldn't be speaking against it. They work for some people. I find if you can find a way to make a big lifestyle change, and to me, fitness and all that kind of stuff, it's a lifestyle more than anything else. It's like it's the way you live. It's the same thing with like family. Like, you know, like you don't, oh, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution to spend more time with my kids. I'm like, no, like that is something that is fundamentally a part of you, and you want to try to make it that, as opposed to something that is like less important. I'll make a New Year's resolution to maybe not cry about the bills as often. That's a reasonable, because it's not very serious. But yeah, try to keep the other things serious. With only 20 minutes to go, got to start continue to get out of some things here. I talked about this resistance on ARM at 62.5. It is what it is. It just curled there again. Let's zoom in so you can see it better. Like, it just curled one more time off 62.5, and I'm going to take a hint. I'm actually not going to. It's going to code as purple because I had to take profit at 63, so that was the sell. Now it's going to say that was a short sell, but it wasn't. That's me getting out. I don't have to look that gift horse in the mouth over and over again. Maybe it has one more chance to bounce. I seriously doubt it. I think you could be almost done for the day. Mara did not break 11. I'm going to keep my eyes on that for the next 10 minutes before I have to head on over to the desk to get ready for the pod. But yeah, it's been a good crypto day. It's been a good day for the chips and NVIDIA. I think it's winding down. I don't think I take any new positions. Ultimately, 2024, Neil, you should put pineapple on your pizza. I will absolutely not be doing that. The only time I will put pineapple on a pizza is if we're doing something fun for the show and I lose a stupid bet. Like, I love making those kind of fun bets. I don't take myself that seriously. I genuinely don't like it. That's why it's a fun bet. Sharif and I have something going on for the Cowboys Bills game. Sean and I have done some stuff. England versus Italy. I'm an England soccer fan. Family over there. That's pretty much the reason why. I don't have any other ties to England. But yeah, we do fun stuff like that. But it's the only time you're going to catch me with pineapple on my pizza. Because I don't believe in eating food that I don't enjoy unless it's for comical reasons.
Yeah, you should definitely not do that. All right, so again, to talk about, like, you know, the different styles of trading, like, I've traded today 5 names. Or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 names. Watch this. Neil, how many names have you traded today? I'll let you count them. Just to show you guys the difference that everybody, and it just goes to some of the points in there, because the market's not doing anything right now, right? And so you don't have to jump in.
Do you know what the style difference is?
No, I'm just asking you how many symbols have
Probably
you traded?
12, 15. On a big
15 symbols
on
with
a
5.
On a big day, I trade setups. If you see me, like, I will.
Yeah, same.
Like, if I look at, but the thing to me is, like, I'll trade a setup. A setup is a setup. And if I see a setup, I'm going to take it on the stock. And if the stock is not providing me with setups, then I'm not going to waste my time trading it. And that's one thing I've found over the years. Like, if you see my style of trade, I want to take small hits, and I'm willing to do so over and over again. Now, my style is always going to be, I could care less if I am 1 for 10, 9 for 10. It's almost completely irrelevant, as long as when you are trading, the relative amount that you lose on a losing trade to a winning trade, right? I never want to have outside losses. Like, if I have a stock, this is my best stock to trade on a given week, I will not. My goal is to not have a single losing trade bigger than that. Period. That's my style of trade. You cannot trade a lot of symbols unless you have that kind of a style going with it, because you're going to be in. Oh, that setup's in there. You take it, small hit. Then you get that one that goes. And that's what it's generally speaking going to be all about. But everyone's a little bit different. I knew a trader that would trade 20 to 30 stocks on a daily basis. To me, on a slower day where the market's not moving, then you have to hunt for symbols to trade. On a day where there's, oh my goodness, there's hot fire, I might only trade 4 or 5. But you'll never see me in more than 2, 3, 4 at the same time. And if anything, 2 are active and 2 I've probably been holding for a while. Like SoFi, I've been pretty much all day long. For most of the day, I was just chilling in SoFi. Come to the chart for a second before we go to the IG thing. Like I'm in here, I'm not trading it again until it gets to there. Like that's the style. Like if you come to something like a Lucid, like I make essentially one play on Lucid. I'm short the breakdown with a stop at the high of the day. I'll be in it all day. Like that's the setup. Like I'm looking for, I got to show the 15-minute.
What?
Like I'm shorting here for a breakdown for it to just absolutely flush. But it breaks a stop, my average price is 14 and I'm out at 17. But I'll sit in that trade all day long.
Yeah.
All day long if it's going to set up for me. And sometimes it breaks, sometimes it doesn't. But that's the difference. Like this is not, if Lucid was going ham, then I'm probably not over and over into that forever. Daniel, the U.S. markets are open for a half day on Friday.
1 o'clock.
Close tomorrow, half day on Friday. Now we'll take care of some business.
Brought to you by IG.com. Trade Forex pairs like Euro USD with spreads as low as 0.8 pips and 0 commissions at IG. Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions.
Okay, quickly here. The imbalances are coming, so I don't. Did you mention it? I'm not sure. 80 million.
80 million.
I feel like you mentioned
80
it
million to
quickly.
buy.
So really, yeah. I mean, Neil's doing it's over, and I think that's right. Shout out to Vince Carter. There isn't much happening right
What's
now.
RLX?
Enbridge. I mean, these are not live orders. That's really small. You can see there's no NASDAQ names on here, and if you do see one, it's because the time it's from the open. Just they either didn't get it done or I don't know. So right now, we're going to wait. These are all brokers, so I'm going to get rid of them here because there's really nothing to show you guys. And then we'll just wait for NYSE and NASDAQ. And you see these are all from 9:30. These are all, so our little widget here is for market on open and market on close. So as we go to see that. All right now Square is mooning a little bit. Mooning. That's hilarious. Up 20 cents. So yeah, moon Square on that one. Palantir, like Neil mentioned about being in a stock for the whole damn day. We're in Palantir pretty much all day right now. Our last fill was 10 o'clock. We only have 10% left. This is like I should have just got out of this so I don't have to like explain it to everybody, but we're in this trade and it's just not doing anything. I was just waiting to see if we got back up to 20 bucks kind of, because we did get there and I missed that out. So I had sort of just thought, you know, let's wait for it. We have, again, our patented 10% left, not much happening. I know we've been sitting here talking a little bit. We only have 2 minutes now until those imbalances, and then Neil will flip over to get ready for the podcast as well. But just right here, you know, you guys wanted me to trade NVIDIA, and we were doing it. It's just, I still had this break ready to go. Now that's where the 200 period is, and now I can't trade it now. It's not tradable. And what I mean by that, again, try to be as specific as I can, there's a minute and a half left until outside external factors hit every stock, and that's the market on close orders. So just like right now, and that's why the only position I have left on Square, and that's why I looked at it again. Well, all right, well, we just offered 95 and got run over there, so we just get out at 95 a little bit. We only have now about 20% left. So it's Square, it's right now, and it's trying to go back up. I may just get out of Palantir here. It is a small buy, so I think we can probably hold out for it. I'm going to put an order right here at 78 on PLTR. If it gets up there, great. We'll be able to get, actually, let's just go to 75, 74. If it goes up there, fine. We'll take that fill. So right into here, we'll take it. If it does get back up there. Square, let's figure out where we're going to take this fill. We'll take one at O's here. If it goes up, I think it probably has a chance to do that. And then we'll take another one up here at, you know, if it gets here again at 10s. And again, what we're waiting for again is just these imbalances to come out. So they're coming out right now.
I'm coming out.
Yeah, I'm coming out. That's not what it is. So here we go. We'll wait to see what's happening here in just a matter of 20 seconds. We'll let that go. We'll let Neil say goodbye. And then, as per usual, like we've been known to do before, we'll take this show all the way. So right here we go. 5,
all the way
4.
up.
The show's going all the way down. This market's going with this imbalance. Let's wait to see. All right. Update?
Palantir.
I don't really see anything. Like, I was waiting for an update, but it got updated, man. Like, Google with a sell. There's Palantir with a buy. So let's see if we get a little bit of a bump. LOL. It's not doing anything. Right now, Google not doing much again. Maybe potential sell.
So just
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
for everybody, I just punched out a SoFi. It didn't move. There was no imbalance on it. You can see the only thing there is Enbridge. And by the way, if you're looking at this, don't get wrapped up in it's dual listed. You do not want to get wrapped up in imbalances on dual listed stocks in Canada because it could have an imbalance in the other direction. But I just pulled up to see if anything was happening. We got the podcast. We're filming it today. It'll be released on Saturday, I believe, still as usual. Yeah, it's still on Saturday to be released, but you can watch it live, start at 4 o'clock. I'm going to mosey on from here and get ready at the desk. It's going to be a wild one. It's been a heck of a lot of fun. Thank you for, well, obviously you're going to close the show. As well, and good luck tonight. I know you're busy tonight, but obviously you're going to enjoy the time with the family.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, a little bit of football. Hopefully, I know your boys.
Yeah, the Packers got gonna be tough work with the Lions, but we
I didn't want to say, like,
no, week 1 we barely. I think we.
The Lions are pretty.
They're pretty good. But
They're pretty good.
I think we could beat them. So, okay, let's go. Thanks, Neil. We'll see you in a couple minutes there on the pod, and yeah, we should have a lot of fun. So, all right, Palantir did not go up, so it did come as a buy imbalance. So we might as well just, punch out a little bit right there if we can. Okay, we did punch out the rest, and we got some half prints right there. So now we're out. I just wanted to finish the trade. I'm basically done everything now. Square, we talked about that a little bit. I can do a couple Q&As if you guys want to in the chat. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, that's for sure. And again, make sure that you join me every single night besides tonight and podcast night when we do have the market on close, market recap. So, it was a great day yesterday. And by the way, if you missed yesterday's recap show, I honestly, I don't have much else to say. Brian Shannon, again, Alpha Trends, right? 300,000 followers. This guy's on the show. This guy's written 2 books. Love this guy. He nailed that 470 on NVIDIA. Here it is right here. There's the line. It's hard to see it. You go over at Trader, I'll put this in the chat right now. At Trader TV Sean, go find it. It was where the anchored VWAP from the low was. So there he is anchoring it. I can't, like every time oh, here we go. Man, just click on this right here. Hey, there, it's going to be a little bit blurry, but that's it right there. You could see it's hard to see, but it's 470 right there. So he was talking all about that. Anyways, I think it's likely place we see where we get a flush. So there it is right there. No more for you. You can go over on Twitter and find out for that. So, all right, first question in the building right now. Shohan, do you always allow visitors on the trading floor? No, but if you do message marketing at tradertv.live, you can roll through, and we will again, see what's up with that, figure out a right time to do it, and so on and so forth. So we do have hiring in behind us, and I guess today's actually a pretty good day. I'm going to say salute to everybody that's behind us, because today it's probably about 40% of the traders behind us are green. So for me, that's a big one. That's great. So congratulations to not just behind us, but everybody today, about 40%. That's fantastic. So congratulations to all those guys. Like I said, it's tough business. So yeah, what level do I think Shop will pull back to? if you guys have any other kind of questions. People want to see Kat on the bell. I think Kat is busy, but she can go up there if she wants. If you had to sum up your daily strategy in most basic terms, this is a good question. I do these Q&As all the time on the after show. So, Neil just said it there. It's support and resistance on names that, we trust ourselves with. So Neil just mentioned they're trading 15 names. For me, I used to do that. I've narrowed them down now. So for me, because again, we talked about taking small cuts. I don't mind taking small cuts, but again, I just feel like narrowing them down and then using support and resistance, right? Like Apple there. And this is going to happen on Apple. Like this is going to happen on a lot of stocks. Like there's the move coming in here on the NASDAQ that flushed all the way. Like look where we're going long, right into support again. Right? Like this is a perfect example. You asked what my trading strategy is. And then when the support left us, we got out. And it's just, it broke below, and there we go. We give it a little bit of love, it breaks, and it's gone. You know, it's the same way here. Look at this 192 break. And again, if you're asking about the strategy, I give it to you free every day right here on the sticky note with all the levels. I traded 5 names today. 4 of them are right here. And the last entry, which is a 21-cent winner, is Square. So today we'll have a good day. There's Square, or that's Apple. Yeah, just support and resistance levels. Oh, the trade I was talking about on Apple was that break of 192 that we gave to you. My best out on that one was 192.75. I'm going to just get out the rest. So Square is making a move back to the upside right now. We only have 5 minutes left. The futures just flipped around. Brendan was busy, so I don't know what that imbalance was, but it wasn't too much there. And here goes Square. So look what Square's doing now. So here's the support, there's the buy, let it go down, didn't stop us out, came right back into support again and bought it, and then here we go again. So, you know, like I said, no matter what your strategy is, here's a winning one for you. I think this month so far it's been about 3 or 4 negative days. So again, in an attempt to be honest, I'm going to try to tell you guys that every single day. There goes Square again. We're now out of Square. Nice little upside move here as we will end our day nicely up. I mean, look at this move for Square. We were just long. We just bought 75s down, 79s down there. Just took it out at VWAP up there to 59.08. Look, I know I said I'd do a Q&A, but we're only a couple minutes away from closing this bad boy up. You're welcome. And that's the summary there, right? So that just spits off my tongue. So thank you so much for the love and the support. All we really want you guys to do is hit the like button. So hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and let's just give this community the explosion. You guys wanted a podcast. You guys get a podcast. Podcast coming tonight. Now, right after. You got 3 minutes until we go. Let's just have a quick look here at the imbalances. Ooh. Uber, here's a name for the long-term portfolio that I would not mind getting more into. We're still long Uber like 30-something, but we don't have as many shares as obviously we would like. Uber, nice upside move. Sell and balance right now, 1.2 million, but you can see not really affecting the stock. Look at this chart for Uber. Huge upside move. I'll show you where I'm long, and again, we're long from right here. It's right into here. So this was this move down, right? We got long into this earnings report. So there's the break. Here's the long. We got some long down here, honestly, off this 200 period. Again, I tweeted it out. And then we got more long. That's why I'm saying my average price is 30-something on this break higher. So that was a good play. And then since then, it's gone. So I don't even need to get out of any because I don't have that many shares here of Uber. But again, a nice day. Thank you so much to everybody today. It's been a good one. We only do have 2 minutes left. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. We used to have graphics for these kind of days, but we don't anymore. So we'll just say Happy Rooster Day to everybody out there today. And again, it's been a really great day in the markets. And I just hope that everybody's safe heading into the holiday and just has a good holiday, right? I mean, that's really what it's all about. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your friends. Be safe, be happy, be merry. I'm off Friday as well, so I will see everybody back next week. I actually have Monday off, but I don't want to say that to everybody. So here we go. Nice little move back up to Happy Rooster Day, says Mr. Love Shack. Happy Rooster Day to you too tomorrow. Canadian Thanksgiving, I believe, was like October 25th or something like that. So you know, we're well past that. I really hate, we were up early this morning. We had something to do. So I've actually been broadcasting since 6 a.m. Doing this. So shout out to everybody that's with us here now as we are now into the last minute of play in the period is right now. Look at NVIDIA. Go to sleep, young child. Go to sleep. It does nothing the last hour of the day. It's NVIDIA, and it is sleepy time. We only now do have 40 seconds left. Maybe it could be Fabian on. I don't know. They're getting ready for the podcast. Adara, you go grab it as well. Oh, here comes Kat. You asked, you get. Right there. Thank you, Kat, for doing this. Here we go. Only 30 seconds. I don't normally hit the countdown because I'm normally at the desk, but you're going to have a special one today. Stay tuned for the podcast in approximately 20 seconds coming through. All right, it's Miss Kat, and there she is. She is on the bell, so we'll hit the countdown right now. I like that. Oh, see? We always get a little bit of celebration there. Nice one. There's going to the club tonight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that wraps it up for another one. Thank you so much for joining us every single day. We are very, very excited for this next stage of Trader TV Live. It's going to be a podcast, and it is right now. So thank you to everybody. I believe you should flip over. If not, go find it. It's podcast time, and it's with Neil and Brendo. So everyone, have a great Thanksgiving. I'm Sean. It's been Adara, Sharif, Kat, Neil, Brendan, Fabian, Ramin. We're all here, and a special thanks to Bears vs. Bulls. All right, it's podcast time. I'm excited to listen to it, and I hope you are too. Kill them with kindness, boys.
Not bad. That's not bad. Brand new graphic, brand new intro, brand new
music.
brand new music bed even under the intro. We're growing. It's episode number 2.